How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. How you doing? 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 Hello, welcome to the Deliberate Life Stream or Deliberate Millionaire Stream. I am Rosemary Nolly Knight. I am the Prosperity Minister. I am a business coach for ambitious spiritual people determined to thrive, to prosper, to make at least six figures whilst living in their purpose. I help you leave behind the pain, limiting beliefs of the past and make that six figures whilst living in your purpose. It is your divine right to be free, to be fulfilled, to be financially abundant, to be to live a love-drenched life if you will claim it. I like to say that all the time because you know what? It can be your divine right. I can say you can know that abundance, that prosperity, all of that stuff is your divine right. But if you do not do what it takes to claim it, then you don't get to live it, unfortunately, because most of us have been mass mind programmed into accepting an average existence, which average for most people is not that great. But we're talking today about it was just kind of what do you guys need to hear today? And the message coming through was just back to basics. What are the simple things that you need to kind of do? Not kind of, definitely do in order to claim the life that you desire. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But we're going to start with our affirmation. I'm taking back my territory. Oh, where's my guitar? I'm taking back my throne. I remember who I truly am. I rise victorious in my true design. Let's get that done. So take a deep breath and release. Deep breath, release. I'm taking back my territory. I'm taking back my throne. I remember who I really am. I rise victorious in my true design. I'm taking back my territory. I'm taking back my throne. I remember who I really am. I rise victorious in my true design. I rise victorious. I rise victorious. I rise victorious in my true design. I rise victorious. I rise victorious. I rise victorious in my true design. Woo, that felt really straighty. I think I just woke up from a nap. So my voice sounds really listening to myself, I'm thinking, okay, maybe you should have warmed up a little bit there. But anyway, taking back your territory, taking back your throne. I remember creating that particular affirmation, and it comes from a place of knowing that, um, for the most part, most of us, because of that mastermind programming I mentioned earlier, you have let go of the things that you're supposed to have influence over. The people that you're here to make a difference to, you've let go of it because you started to believe that it wasn't possible for you. You started to believe that your dreams, your desires, your vision was just too far fetched, too out there, and that you need to settle for a heck of a lot less. And so your life started to get smaller and smaller and smaller as you got more and more restricted, okay? Not just financially, but restricted even in terms of what you allowed yourself to do. And I want you to wake up and remember who you truly are, who you truly are. Remember that you are one with the divine. Remember that you are a powerful creator. Remember that the same power that created all things lives within you. You are incredibly powerful, but you forget that in the everyday struggle of life. I get it. Especially as you get older, it starts to feel as if more and more of the things that you thought you were going to be doing, you're still not doing them. You start to believe it's impossible for you. But actually, let's go back to basics. Let's go back to the basics of manifesting a dream. First and foremost, as ambitious spiritual people. And these are things I say all the time, but I'm going to tell you again because you must remember this stuff and keep life simple. One, allow the divine to love you. Allow the divine to love you. Every single thing that you desire is love energy materialized. So you know how a computer started in somebody's head as a figment of their imagination, and then by focusing on it, by as spiritual people, what we know is this: everything is energy. So by focusing on it, what we're really doing is loving on it, as in that divine love energy flowing through you. You're focusing it on the seed that you've planted in your mind, and that love energy comes from the divine. Now, if you're not spiritual, you might not say those. You may not say it in that exact way, but we are spiritual in this community. We recognize our connection to the divine is critical to the creation of the life that we desire. Okay. And so allowing the divine to love us, and another way of saying it is fall in love with the divine. But this is the thing that I know, that it's almost impossible to force yourself to fall in love with the divine. What you do to start with, in order to fall in love with the divine, what you must do is allow the divine to love you. Allow the divine to love you. A lot of spiritual people, you have this idea that you have to earn the affection of the divine, earn the affection of the universe, earn the attention of the universe. You do not. It is as simple as saying, I allow you to love me, and allowing yourself to feel loved all of the time and connecting and staying connected. It is absolutely critical if you are going to create whatever it is. So, whatever your religion is, whatever your spiritual bent is, love energy materializes every single thing that you desire. And the only way that that comes through is you allowing the divine to love you. Now, some people like sometimes say things like, "Oh, we're supposed to love the giver, not the gift," and all of that stuff. Listen, love the giver and the gift. Okay, the divine does not make such distinctions. It's just human-made distinctions. Allow the divine to love you. Yes, even if your immediate primary intention is to get stuff, it's okay. Allow the divine to love you. You cannot force yourself to become more holy or more whatever than you are right now. So give yourself a break and just simply allow the divine to love you. If you want to manifest anything in your life, allow the divine to love you. And let me tell you this: when you do allow the divine to love you, you will also return the favor, because it is being loved that allows you to love. It is being loved that allows you to love. And now, and this particularly in the context of you connecting to the divine and staying connected to the divine, it is allowing the divine to love you that allows you to love the divine. This does not mean that because you can listen to that and then take it to mean that you're supposed to love everybody. You're supposed to, that it's only as people, well, people are a whole different kettle of fish. Okay. This, be careful of codependency when it comes to loving people and being loved by people. However, when it comes to the divine, give yourself completely to it. Surrender completely to being loved. Completely. Because you are so incredibly loved exactly the way that you are. There's no hoops for you to jump through. There's nothing you need to do. You simply need, the only thing you need to do is allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to be loved. I don't care what you've done or not done. Allow yourself to be loved. Number one, basic foundation of manifestation. Number two, fall in love with yourself, which also makes it easier for you to allow the divine to love you when you're loving on yourself. Because one of the reasons why you don't allow the divine to love you is because you do not think that you are worthy of love. Well, it's time for you to fall back in love with yourself. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror. Remind yourself of just how worthy you are. Remind yourself of who you are, and love yourself completely, exactly the way that you are. Perfection is not required. So stop expecting it of yourself. Stop judging yourself. We spiritual people, one of the biggest reasons why spiritual people struggle to manifest wealth and abundance is because you are busy judging yourself and finding yourself unworthy. You think it's the divine, particularly if you're brought up religious. You think it was the divine asking you to judge yourself because that's the only way you're going to prove yourself worthy. It's a lie. It's a lie that is man-made dogma, man-made conditioning. Enough. Love yourself. Love yourself exactly how you present. You think you can shame yourself into becoming a better person. It doesn't last. It doesn't last. You trying to punish yourself into being a better person. It doesn't last. We see this happening in children where the parents are particularly strict. And then the moment the children get to leave home, they go crazy. Why? Because Pretending that you're not who you are doesn't last. As soon as the pressure is off, who you really are is going to come through. Okay, so it's like when you see, as I say, when you see with children, the moment they leave home to go to college or whatever, they just suddenly go crazy because suddenly they're free. That is exactly what happens to you if you keep trying to. And this was sometimes what religion does. It makes you try to live to these externally imposed rules and regulations, telling you that that's what the divine demands of you. Actually, that is precisely what is keeping you out of the kingdom. That is precisely what is keeping you struggling. Is this whole trying to be perfect or trying to be something that you're not, or trying to look a certain way. Love who you are. Love yourself exactly the way that you are if you are going to manifest the desires of your heart. So that's number two. It is the basic foundation. Number one, fall in love with the divine or allow the divine to love you. Number two, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself. I don't care what you've done or not done. You cannot punish yourself into being better. I'm sorry, but you can't. It will not last. It will not last. You already know this. So love yourself. Number three, focus on what it is that you desire. Focus on the desires of your heart. Focus on what it is that you desire. There will be many pulls on your attention, many reasons to keep looking for many problems that you think you need to focus on in order to solve. The more you focus on something, the more likely it is to grow. Okay. So if your focus is completely on all the things that are going wrong and all the things you're not doing and all the problems you need to solve, guess what? You only ever see more problems, more things you need to do, all of that stuff. It all seems so urgent. It all seems so, no, listen, get very clear about what it is that you desire. Get very clear what your purpose is, and get very clear. And reminder, your purpose ultimately is to enjoy being here on planet Earth. So what adds to your enjoyment of this planet? Okay, those are the things that you want to be creating, and stop judging your desires, for goodness sake. Stop judging your desires. Again, this is why spiritual people sometimes really, really struggle to create the life they want, because you're busy judging it and telling yourself that you're not allowed to want what you want. You are. The desires of your heart are safe for you to pursue. Trust yourself. This is where, number two comes in, is where you're loving yourself and loving what you desire, instead of trying to tell yourself that it's not good enough and you should be more worthy, you should be more holy, and you should want more noble things. Enough already. What do you actually desire? Focus on what you want. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you want. There will be a time of you've planted the seed on what you want, and then there'll be a time of the seed taking shape in the darkness. So you can sometimes feel as though no matter how much you focus, nothing is happening. Hold your freaking ground. And focus, keep focusing on what it is that you desire. Okay, keep focusing on what you freaking want. Stop trying to stop making problem solving your whole thing. Stop trying. Yeah, and that's what people do. Make problem, just solving problems. Problem solve. That's what I need to do. No, most of the problems and issues you're facing, when you focus on creating the desires of your heart, most of that stuff will drop away anyway. Most of that stuff will drop away. It's like talking about money. Let's talk about money. Being in debt and focusing on your debt, keeping your whole life on hold. Right? You focus on your debt, focus on that. If you focused on creating the business that was aligned with your purpose and focused on making it money making, guess what? Your debt would disappear, because you'd have the money to pay it, because you focused on what you actually wanted rather than focusing on the debt. So come on. I know the world would demand that you focus on things that seem so urgent. You have to rise above this stuff and focus on what you want, to the exclusion of what you do not want, or to everything else, the exclusion of everything else. Seriously, learn to say yes to the things that will help you, that push you in the direction of what you want, rather than saying yes always to all the distractions and the urgent issues. Focus on what you want. Number one, Allow the divine to love you. Number two, fall in love with yourself. Number three, focus on the desires of your heart. Number four, remove the blocks. This is where my help really comes in. Removing the things that get in the way of you creating the life that you desire. And anything, guys, anything, anything that tells you or prevents you in any way from achieving what you desire is a block that needs to be cleared, removed, dissolved, resolved, evolved immediately. Some things are inner stuff, inner emotions, inner beliefs that need to be sorted. Some things are external, relationships, whatever, usually relationships, let's be honest, external relationships that may need to be managed in order for you to focus on the desires of your heart. So remove the blocks, whatever is telling you that you cannot have what you want is a block that needs to be removed. It's that simple, okay? If it doesn't help you, it is hindering you. There's no in between here. Either it's helping you get where you want to go or it's stopping you from getting where you want to go. And if you would keep life that simple, you would speed forward faster. But we kind of get caught up in all kinds of distractions, telling ourselves that they're urgent and we have to do them. You do not. You are making a choice to delay the manifestation of your vision. And coming back to focus again, one of the simple things that I was taught by the divine to do if I'm lacking in focus is to write down what I want. Write it down repeatedly. Write it down, speak of it, speak it, speak it, speak it, see it in my mind's eye, use my imagination to picture it, see myself be in it, live in it, there already, and feel how it would feel to be there already. This helps with focusing on what you want. Coming back to removing the blocks, remove. So if you're doing the focusing exercise of that, right, speak, see, feel, and you notice that your mind is going all over the place, or that there's a part of you that thinks, oh, I'm not sure how that can work, notice that is a block that needs to be removed so it doesn't get in the way. Particularly if you're visualizing something and then there's a resistance coming up, notice the resistance. It's something that needs to be cleared. Okay. Remove the blocks. This is definitely come and have a remove the block session with me. If you know that you've been trying to get somewhere and you're not getting anywhere, you're feeling stuck, or a relationship is particularly holding you back, whatever it is, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let's go deep. Let me help you. One, restore your foundations to where they should be so that you are able to move forward with ease, but also remove the weeds, the things that are getting in the way of you manifesting the life that you desire. Let's have a session. The link is in my bio. The link is around this video, depending on where you're listening to this. And then the final thing is, of course, we need to take intuitive and strategic action. Intuition alone, it's not enough, okay? If you are refusing to consider the fact that you're a divine being having a human experience, intuition is amazing. Intuition, getting the guidance from the divine, amazing. But also recognize that there are foundational things that need to happen. For instance, in a business, communicate, capture, close. Make sure you're doing that every single day. Marketing needs to be a big part of what you're doing every single day. Yes, I understand that you're cold and blah, blah, blah. But just because you hung up your shingle ready to serve people doesn't mean that people know that you exist. So unless you learn how to market yourself, this is strategic action. So yeah, intuitively, you may know exactly what it is that you are meant to be doing. Absolutely. Now get the strategic information as well and apply it. Apply it. Strategic action is absolutely essential. This is also something that when you have a session with me, you leave with a strategic action plan. You know exactly what you need to do next in order to move forward. And so if there's been some delay, some procrastinating, some inability to make great decisions on what to do next, then have a session with me. That will support you in, because you will leave you will leave knowing your next step, no doubt about it. But that's number 5, is intuitive, strategic action. You could do the first 4, absolutely essential. But if you leave out the action part, you will just keep spinning your wheels, getting absolutely nowhere. Okay? So a recap here, the 5 basics of manifestation. Allow the divine to love you, because it is love energy materialized that is the manifestation of every single thing that you desire. Okay? Number 2, fall in love with yourself. You will block love energy flowing through you if you do not love yourself. Okay? So it's critical. It isn't just some kind of wimpy, something that spiritual people like to talk about. No, it is essential that you love yourself exactly the way you are, dark, the light, the in between. Love all of you. Allow yourself to be loved. Number one and two, allow yourself to be loved by the divine. Love your freaking self. Number three, focus on the desires of your heart by writing, speaking, seeing, feeling. Really keep your mind and your heart very focused on the desires of your heart. So that way you're loving on, you're flowing love to the seeds that you're planting in your heart. Okay, the seeds of the desires that you are focusing on. Remember that every single thing that manifests in the physical reality started as just an energy formation in somebody's imagination, and it was by focusing on it. Focusing then is the flowing of love towards the thing. That's what then made it materialize. Okay, love energy materialized. Okay, number four, remove any blocks, remove anything, any limiting beliefs, remove any people or environments that keep you from focusing and being loved. Okay, remove the blocks. This is again where I support people, is really seeing where you're holding your own self back, or by where some of your self-sabotaging behaviors are getting in your way. Most of the time, you do not even know it is happening because you're so used to living in a certain way. Okay, so that's number four. And then the final thing is strategic action. Remember, intuitive, strategic action, absolutely critical. We're divine beings having a human experience. You cannot just do the divine stuff. You also need to do the practical human activity. That is what will also speed up the manifestation of the desires of your heart. Keep this stuff in mind. I will remind you from time to time because sometimes we just need to come back to basics and realize how we've maybe gone away from doing the simple things that will enable you to live in your vision. I understand that sometimes it takes time for the manifestation of the actual desire. That does not mean that it's not coming. It just means that we have no control really over the timing. However, you have complete control over whether you stay focused on on creating the thing that you want. A lot of the time, one of the reasons why you do not manifest something is because you have changed your mind. You have gone from thinking this is what I absolutely definitely want to see manifested to thinking it's never going to happen for me. That has become your goal, this idea that it will never happen for you. And so therefore that's what you're focusing on. Guess what you get? It doesn't happen for you. You have to hold faith. This whole manifestation thing, it is not for the weak, it's not for the wimpy, because sometimes the physical reality will look as if it will never shift, and you still need to hold your ground until what you see inside of you is what you see outside of you. There will be days when it feels impossible, and yet this is where courage comes in. You hold your freaking ground, knowing that you are on track, knowing that as certain as the sun rises in the east, so it is that your vision must manifest because you have decided it, you have demanded it from life, and the physical reality must shift to make room for you. You ready, my loves? 5 basic things here. Do them. Do them consistently. Do not be swayed. Do not be swayed. Do not be swayed by whatever you see in the physical reality. Let your internal visualization, let the thing you see inside of you become more real than physical reality. The physical reality is subject to you. So become the authority in your life for real. Take back dominion. Expand your territory. Get back up on your throne. And freaking stay there until the thing that you have decided to create is created. Okay? Until the next time, my loves, go forth and prosper. This is your day. Much amazing love. Bye.